I almost started talking like this. Where's my money? Where's my money? After I wrote pay me in duffel bag. The only reason I ever met somebody's parents like the video. You know the show Meet the Parents? And where's my money? You look washed out like laundry. You know when you do laundry with the all white and you put bleach on it? That's what her parents look like. All white with bleach on it. So I kinda condone this behavior. They don't even have curls in their hair. Even if you put a curling iron in, you wouldn't see a thing happen. This sounds about white. If your mama's with them. Sounds about white. White on. White on then. I kinda condone this behavior. I almost took the same flight back once I landed. As it by any chance, you know this plane ticket I just got? Is the plane still there? Did it did it leave yet by any chance? I know that I just went through boarding. You know when you hit the wave and there's whitewash and you was boarding. You know, with the barrel, the 10-footer. I said that to the plane. I wasn't playing at all. You know, I cannot condone any of this behavior I've been seeing out here. Hard to see when it's all white. I felt like I was at the Met Gala for no reason. And why is this many white people here? My husband counted as 3. He was overweight, bigger than me, and all white. I said, I don't condone none of this. He thought whiskey stood for the Winners Club. I said, get out of my face. Immediately. ASAP. Hurry up. Move quick. I couldn't condone any of it. A lot of behavior that's unidentified. You know, like UFOs, but people. Like unidentified aliens. Don't look whiter than white. I said, there's a big problem around here. Big problem. She said her white people is her best friend. I said, you must be out of your damn mind. Where's my money? Where's my money? Only white people say, where's my money? White. Look like white bread. You know Wonder Bread? After I did Supergirl, she looked like she only ate that for ages. Wonder Rose, Wonder Bread. That's how I knew almost dry dropped. The whole place was dry and washed out at the same time. You see this wall behind me? When you're more pale than a white wall, it's a problem. When you gotta turn the AC on and then it's just a net loss. Once they act like they gotta turn on the net loss, I say, you must be out of your damn mind. Whiter than white out. I thought bro was wearing a pillowcase. That's when I knew I had a lawsuit. Even at the bank, she looked like she was wearing a pillowcase when I asked for help. said, what uniform are you wearing, ma'am? Shouting across the bank instead of offering me help. That's the loudest I ever heard somebody yell across the bank. It looked like she was wearing a pillowcase on her head. I said, what uniform, Margaret, do you have on? It doesn't look better than mine. I pulled up in all black. I heard a white lady scream across the room. Pulled up with all black on me. 19-something Italiano with a Cubano. I said, this is gonna be a big problem. Once I heard people yelling. When you yell in a bank but you don't offer assistance, I knew you had some kind of a behavioral issue going on. You know, the BI, behavioral issue. He said, I don't condone this behavior at all. They started calling me Jay. Don't condone. I picked up the baseball bat and started swinging out the park. Bing bong. Bing bong. That's when I knew I had to drop that video. All I seen was white balls. Bing bong. I almost picked up the little bat for that one. Started swinging like Sosa. I said, I cannot be around this. That's how I know she was a Caucasian. I couldn't be around it. That's when you take an Asian and a white person and then you try to merge them. I did a merger deal. Their net loss. You know when you overweight but you only drink alcohol. I said, why is the AC Slater keep turning up the AC? The Slater. You know when it's the slider button, the Slater button? It looked like the mixing console. And it kept turning it up. That's why I had to drop. I said, get out of my face. How much did you lose in your whole life? I had to drop the Winners Club. Winning. I had to just sit around the table and start roasting everybody. That's how white it was. Roast marshmallows, roasted vegetables, roasted vegan food, roasted portobellos. Imagine you whiter than a portobello. I said, throw that thing on the grill. Hop them on a grill. Winnie. It's the Winners Club. I thought I saw a ghost. I woke up, I was like, whoa. Am I seeing a ghost walk by? I said, I cannot be around this behavior. I knew the net loss was so large. They just started losing. You know when you drink whiskey and you act like that's the Winners Club? In Wisconsin, when you drink whiskey in Wisconsin and act like that's the Winners Club? That's a net loss with the AC. That's why her family back there is all in AC. They thought the double A's 4.0 stood for Alcoholics Anonymous. Then I don't know what you're talking about. The amount of times I saw them crank up the AC, I said, what, by any chance, what do you have in your cup? I felt like the reverse of Wayne. You know when they do the interview but they're alcoholics on the other side. You know, what you got in your cup there? What you pouring in? Why you keep touching the AC knob? I said, get me out of this place. It's too expensive. Just from the AC alone, but the room looked crazy. Looked worse than my bedroom. You keep them in there. I said, I drive bikini season. They turn into roasted marshmallows overnight. Wonder white bread. You know, a white king bread or something like that. It doesn't go well. I started picking up French bread because it wasn't as white as them. It don't even make sense. They started painting my closet white. You see this wall right there and that wall back there? When her parents is whiter than that and the mom like to be around it, I would have hit 4 home runs out the park. Bing bong. I had to look up like this because I knew it was out the park. The 1-2 would have been sleeping everybody. It would have looked like slap rocks. Bop, bop, bop. That's how I knew. Sometimes, you know, it just don't go well in no room. I said, pay me. Every time I saw them walk to the AC, I started doing accounting like a white person do. Every time I saw them walk to the AC, that's an AC Slater. AC slider. That's when I knew her mom was out of her damn mind. Racist, discriminatory, sexist. Also don't know the difference between color and not. I said, by any chance, are you colorblind? You CB? Colorblind? Hey, everything look white around here. Looked like I was trying to, you know the movie Get Out? The movie Get Out where you just leave the room ASAP. She even named the person Zach. You know Screech's best friend is Saved by the Bell. I was outies. It's too expensive right here. There's too many losses. It's the Winners Club. I saw loss after loss after loss after loss. It wasn't right. I'll tell you that. She was totally wrong for that. It wasn't right. Sounded about white though. My mom looked African after I came back home. I thought I saw an African in my apartment. After I saw her mom's boyfriends. I said, why am I around dudes ever in my life? I was never around dudes in my life until I knew her mama was cheating. And she was taking account of all the people she was texting. I said, why I gotta be here? Why I gotta be standing around this? I thought I could smell bro through his clothes. I started a clothing brand. I thought I could smell bro through his clothes. It wasn't right. It was all white. I cannot be around that. Nope. Once I see tall white people, I'm like, just give me the ball, coach. Pass me the ball. I said the game needs me. I almost put up like with the dub on the sleeve. I said, get me out of here immediately. What I'm about to do, stand around with no technology. No money, no technology. was addicted to alcohol. Shit, this a problem. Guess where I said, guess where you probably go? She did go exactly there. She went exactly to the other people who I knew would be there. You know, the ones who act like this, but then they're actually that. Yeah. Every time they walked to her, I knew that was somebody white, if it's an Asian. That's how I knew that whole other family back there is all Russian white people. That's how I knew I was still waiting for my money. They count their money as loans, that's why. And Sylvester Stallone's is when white people gather together, but their net loss is just like crazy. I wanted to play for Brooklyn instead. The net loss. When you pull up in all black, I'll take the New Jersey. Give me the New Jersey in all black. I'm about to go play for Brooklyn instead. Boom. I'd rather play for the Knicks probably now. Boston. Give me that green. I was winning so much. I said, give me the green. Where's my paycheck? I started just waiting around instead. Let me just wait around here. Like, do they make money or not? It's all loans, all losses. It's the LNLs. She started eating at LNL's loans and losses. She started eating the whole plate like she was starving. I said, calm down there. Calm down. Loans and losses. Here's some lunch. Take a plate lunch. Loans and losses. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. It's when I seen kids run out of the blue. It's all white kids. I had to re-look at my bro like, no wonder you covered up. He has sleeves all over him. So no wonder you covering up. It's a loose sleeve. You pull up with loose sleeve on him. He was so pale. He started getting tats on his arm just like this. You know when they start scraping the area or then trying to act like they gotta hammer it in. It's loose sleeves. It's all pale. I said, give me the black paper. Because if they walk around me, about to start leaking ink. So I cannot be around this. I cannot miss right now. I cannot miss. Whatever I do, I cannot miss. That's when I pulled up to the bank. I heard a white lady screaming. I said, what's going on in here? You know, like the school where it was only supposed to be, you know, for people who were segregated. They breached the whole school. You know, the one up the mountains? Because certain people have hair like this and go through segregation. They breached the whole thing. It's like the bank. The bank said First Hawaiian Bank. I heard a scream in the back. Sir, your phone. I said, yes, ma'am, it is my phone. What are you talking about? It's not a net loss. It's my phone. It's not yours. They're not going to the hospital. She's talking about flammable. All I was doing was spitting flames my whole life. Bar after bar, all flames. Hot fire. Nothing but fireballs. Fire bars. White people everywhere. I said, where's my money ever gonna come from? It's loss after loss. Crazy. I had to wake up and just talk about what I saw. It's alright. Woke up in the Met Gala and ran for my life. To pull up with all black on. Nike's all black. Like, I might keep buying black on it after I saw that. I seen pictures with people taller than this and that. Is it, are you all white? Cause you cannot be right now with the loss after loss. I seen them pull up to some kind of family reunion. Saw losses. I cannot deal with it. I was winning. You know, bro, on the how I made my money more than 2.5 men. I started saying winning. That's how I knew bro ended up on the news. I started looking stressed out as the younger person. I started just, you keep flicking that AC switch. I thought I was getting heated, that they had alcohol problems. And pull up in double A's. So that's not a 4.0. Reacting anonymous. I dropped the song Anonymous. She said that's her favorite song. I said, I wonder why. I had to look at her table. I seen Coronas. I seen Heinekens, green bottles. I seen, you know when they say if can, it was all cans. It's when it's cheaper than the bottles. And they still pull up with the 24 pack. I almost wanted to sleep people left and right. And bop, go to bed. Bop, bop, go to bed. Night. It's when the net losses is too much. I almost had to start sleeping them instead. They started calling me Jay Don't Condone. Jay Don't Condone. It's not right. They were wrong for that. And then when they start acting like they gotta act like politics, but they don't know what they're talking about, they start switching their behavior. No, I don't have to have behavioral issues just because somebody else walk around in every 4 or whatever years, 2 years. It had nothing to do with me at all. They started switching sides for no reason. Like, do I gotta act like this? You do not have to act like a politician or the ICE gang, the police. Chains I had to pull up frozen. If they're talking about ice on the back, I pulled up at the front frozen. I had to chill like my neck will. All ice on me. Their vest had it on the backside. Like, I just wanted to turn on the camera and talk to Down syndrome clientele in the bank. I had to look crazier than them and let them put their hands on me just so they could feel what a real one feel like. I said, could you please stop yelling in the financial institution and putting your hands on me? I almost slept all 7 of them. I would have walked out with 7 rings. Magic Island. I almost slept them all. 7 rings, Magic Island. I was ready to pull up, just pop. Like the amount of training that I had to see that in the bank. I say, mm-mm. Mm-mm. I seen white ladies running around in the First Hawaiian Bank, changing their names and the documentation, tampering, holding on to different papers. I said, what is going on around here, may I ask? Pardon me. What's happening in this fine institution? Last I recall, it wasn't this white in the First Hawaiian Bank. Are you related to a cook? Because for the rest of your life, I need chefs, I need cars, mansions, planes, boats. I need people who are educated to handle my documents instead of tampering with them. Mm-mm. You know when the white people hold the white paper? Probably tampered with. There's something on here is not looking right. Could you please read this? I started stuttering. Oh, she's trespassing. I said, read my documents. They said trespassing. Trespassing. I said, could you please read my documents? Nothing was read. The notary didn't read it. Didn't get notarized. The banking manager wouldn't look at the paper. I said, what kind of educational value are you providing me right now? At all. It don't even make sense. They just start sitting around like acting like the cameras don't see them. They went still. The banking managers started standing still like the cameras couldn't see them. I had to pull out mine and do a whole 360. I felt like I had a GoPro on me and they had the cameras on them. So that's 7 rings on me. 7 rings, baby. I just can't stop. The years back to back. I need 3 more now. Then I couldn't keep balling. I felt like I was the only baller in the bank, throwing out W's. So what's happening in here? I said, by any chance, you look familiar? Are you related to the cooks? You know, the ones who just pull up on a boat anywhere and say it's a voyage, a bon voyage. Say, how you got here? May I ask? I left my hair how it was, just so you could see me clearly. It was hard to see in there. A lot of pale, translucent behaviors that didn't want to read. Like they just got in there just for no reason. Look, could you read this line? The trespassing. I had to drop the video ASAP. I said, I knew something was wrong in here. They didn't want to read. The comprehensional skills, poor. I pulled up with all gold on me, all cash. The documents alone more expensive than each police officer and the bankers. Like, what was bro talking about? Like 10 million just for the lawyers. It was probably like 100 million for the lawyers, for the legal team. Because I wasn't doing illegal business like that. I said, could you please read this first line? It says, auto clearance. Open my account immediately. Do a deposit. The legal team cost a few billion. We had to expedite it. You know? I said, just put the money in the bank. Then let me withdraw. I said, how many times did people lose in this bank? I'm still here, the Winners Club, but why I gotta lose like all of you? And because I'm winning. Why I gotta lose like the rest of the bankers that took loans and now gotta work for me in there? I said, you took that much loans and ended up here. All you gotta do is read the paper and make a deposit. You don't gotta keep having denial, non-comprehension, and communication. I thought I was in a bank with special ed children. I had to look around slowly. I had to identify each person, each convicted convict. Spin the camera slowly. By any chance? I said, sir, no wonder they didn't want me on cameras, because the level of learning, right? Net loss. These L's all over the place. That's how I knew I had some person inside of in my studio. He call himself L&L. All he do is eat and lose. Bro is kind of taller than me. Like, people in the bank look crazy. Crazy. Started feeding them plates from L&L. Just take a plate lunch. I seen somebody walk by with plates from L&L. This is how much money I made. The whole thing was green. I couldn't bet on the other side. My money was too green. I didn't even like blue faces. My money was all green since a baby. Since a baby. 7 rings, baby, yeah, I just can't stop. It's like years back to back. I need 7 more now. Then they shut the whole thing down. I said, that's not how bankers bank. That's not how we treat our customers. It's how you end up with all 1 stars on the Yelp. It's how you have half of 1 star. I'll put up like a 5-star general. Their customer service was 0. After that, bingo, bing bong. 5-star general walked in there. I said, I like stripes when I walk. It's all stars on me. So I'm an all-star when I pulled up. My customer service alone for my business is phenomenal. Beyond exceptional. Amazing. Stupendous. Crazy with the ball. I saw an all-star that walked in there. White people started screaming, Sir, 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 you can't do this. I said, what is you talking about? It's the Winners Club. I can do whatever I want. Stop tampering with my documents and pay me. I already wrote that before I walked in there. She paid me with a duffel bag. That's a duffel bag, boy. I have brown paper bags since a baby. All cash. All money in. I couldn't condone any of it. Jay can't condone. Felt like white people surrounded me with pillowcases on. I almost started just grabbing a pillowcase myself and just bop, bop, bop. They almost called me the Birdman. I grabbed a pillowcase, you seen feathers flying everywhere. And hold them by the pillowcase, bop, bop. Night, night, bop. I almost put hands on them. I said, I'll let them do that. And then I'm gonna look crazy. It's not even how we do business. I didn't want to do anything else. I had to see the whole crew walking back. You know the photo where I said people tried to kill me and assassinate me? Yeah, because if I'm a U.S. SEAL in business, everybody in the bank would have been laid out. There would have been sleeping beauties and free. Like, that's how fast it would have been. Run through that whole place. I did a lap in there. So where's my cars, mansions, planes, boats, boss life, baby? This the life I chose. I had to say it slowly. Transportation? Social Security Administration and Transportation? Plane tickets? Per diem? Food allowances? I had to look around at them. What's going on in here? I don't know what state they were working for. It looked like they was out of state. When they group together like that with that kind of behavior, they gotta write checks from prison, from the jail, just to start learning again. By any chance, do you write checks from jail or prison? JP Morgan is what they was calling me because they were going to jail and prison. I just dropped Untouchable in all black. I heard white people screaming trying to touch me. I said, that's a pedophile. It was a pedophile activity. I dropped Untouchable and they trying to touch me. I would have sleep everybody. And he was screaming at me to freeze. I would have pulled that thing straight off there with the clip. It sound like the money counter. Don't touch my United States business. What are you doing? It's Coconut Kingdom. It's the Winners Club. It's World Music Innovations, World Media Innovations. I already had to come back. Bop, 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 bop. Like I got a Model 18. You know when you do model pageant shows, but then they try to touch you illegally? Would pull up with the Model 18. The Deagle from far range. Scoped with the Deagle. Bop. Bop. I said, get your hands off of me. I just dropped Untouchable. That's like a what? $1 billion record. Right there. It's $1 billion record. And then they tried to touch me. That's 100 trillion. 100 trillion. I would have moved too quick for them. They said I moved too quick. I'm the new Slick Rick. They would have pulled up with eye patches. I said, get away from me. He tried to touch me. You're a pedophile. Don't touch my Italiano and my Cubano, my Cuban link, my Italian suit. It's all black. I had to throw up dubs my whole life. Dub is for the club. It's the Winners Club. I almost picked up a ball in the bank. Used to ball against everybody. And started looking at me like half man, half amazing. I almost took it back to the streets. Those officers, I felt bad for them. Now they gotta write checks from the prison. They gotta write checks from the jail. They gotta write checks from their vehicles. I said I needed transporters for the product. I don't know what they was talking about. But the Deagle and the Model 18 would have looked crazy after I left the model pageant show. All the models that I had at the model pageant show, it didn't look like the white people at the bank. This could go for days. Days. I felt bad for them. USCO moved way too quick compared to who tried to put their hands on me. Bros was looking special ed, and the white ladies was screaming, "Sir! Sir!" I said, "Could you lower your tone? I need customer service. Stop yelling in the financial institution. It's easier to work without you screaming in the background." It's because I had all black on. And so they started screaming. So lower your tone. Man, calm down, man. It's my phone, not yours. You do whatever I want. It's my property. My intellectual property. It's my assets. It's my settlements. It's my restitution. It's my royalty checks. It's my residuals. It's my debits. It's not credits. What is you talking about? I'm in the bank city popping. He said I moved too quick. I'm the new Slick Rick. 2 bee stings, and I'm beasting. I was going crazy in the bank. I just said, "Could you please read this?" First line, could you read that? Auto clearance, open it up. What are you talking about? It's illegal to close somebody's bank and then steal their cash. That's how I knew it was a W already. WWW, World Music, Winners Club, Wish You Were Mine. Crazy. I said, ball so hard that cray. Lamodi for like 6 days. I had to scold bankers. You know when you have to scold bankers for still not allowing you to get paid? Jay can't condone behavioral issues. They almost all went to sleep immediately. I almost gave them pillows, put pillowcases on them and let them walk through the woods. Hold this fire, put a pillowcase on, and just go walk in the jungle. Figure it out. Then I would have sleep all the police that talked back to me. There would have been feathers flying in the air. And put a pillowcase on you. Go walk in the jungle. You look crazy. Go learn something. Put pillowcases on all of them and tell them come back. Report to duty. Take off all that, put all this on, and then go figure it out. Where's my money? Almost ran through the woods, swinging at everybody. Bing bong. Bing bong. Go walk through the woods and see if you can come back. It's the Winners Club. We back to back. After Untouchable, sheesh. Pulled up with all bricks on the front. They didn't even give me my big stacks. A big stack. Where's my big stacks? I said 4 C's for Mr. Ford, please. Make sure the suit clean, iron out the long sleeves. Everybody in the bank looked like they were dyslexic, didn't go to education past the 6th grade. I seen stars on their face, like putting stars on their face. I saw people with eyeglasses, eyewear, and you're not supposed to have that in a bank. Batons and pepper spray. So, what are you doing in my financial institution? Why are you here? Why are you not transporting my marijuana and cannabis to the correct door? But you pull up in my First Hawaiian Financial Institution bank. They said, look at the hair and remember who you're talking to. You speak politely with manners. Why are you screaming in my bank? I belong at the top floor or with the Brinks truck only. And I don't know why people were screaming in the bank. I walked in, I felt like an all-star. 5 stars. Their Yelp went down so quick. Yelp. Yelp. I asked for water. Not as if I could use the restroom. Like every constitutional right felt violated when I went in there. That was a shot clock violation. I said, you gotta pay me. And shot clock, and ring the buzzer already. Once I heard somebody scream, just ring the buzzer. Once she said you're trespassing, I knew she didn't know how to read. Like, does anybody know how to read in here? Past the 5th grade. I almost put 5 on all of them. Bop, bop, bop. Pull up with the Deagle. Model 18. Brrr, money counter. Jay cannot condone. Jay can't condone. I said, where's my planes, mansions, cars, boats, boss life, baby, this the life I chose. L.A., Cancun, girls love Jay everywhere I go. Woo! Almost, when you saw that footage, it's when I was close up, ducking and weaving against all of them. My pivot looked crazy. Almost put pillowcases on all their heads, spin them around and tell them go in the jungle. Too clean. I pulled up in Listerine, the big body Listerine. That meant I was too clean. And then they started talking about my OZs in the footage. I said, why are you talking about my OZs? The whole bank looked dirty. I pulled up in that green Listerine, the big body. It was worth more than all of their fleet. They started repoing vehicles like everything was all good just a week ago. I said, give me all of that. I did more communication and educational talks than the bank ever did in front of hundreds of thousands of millions. Close range with the camera. Crazy how white people act these days. Like they need more melanin. I pulled up in the bank, I thought they were all on melatonin once I had melanin in my skin. I said, by any chance, are you on some type of substance? Heroin, Ambien, melatonin. Everybody looks sleepy. I wanted to punch a pillowcase so bad. I almost handcuffed everybody myself in the whole institution. Then get on the floor. I almost handcuffed everybody. It's due to their educational value that was not provided. I said, don't you work for me?